slowly getting this thing figured out here. All right, welcome back, y'all. Let me know in the comments. Make sure I'm live here. We're gonna get started. Looking down at the comments again. Looks like we're live, y'all. Cool. All right, so welcome back to another one, y'all. Should be a fun little evening here. So anyway, last time we were live here, we just kind of did a Q&A, question and answer.
It's a prehistoric powwow here in the front yard.
Got to turn that off real quick. I got the comments going down here because I can't read them. They go so fast on my phone. So anyway, we're up. We're live. Anyway, last time, like I said, we did more of just a Q&A. Tonight, I want to do some actual work, some actual stuff. So I've got today's catch there behind me, and I've got yesterday's in the fridge. So we're just going to go ahead and you guys will just kind of see a typical evening here. So just to give you guys just kind of a rundown of what's happened the last few days. So we've got our second deer season happening here in well, it starts tomorrow. Today's Wednesday, so it starts tomorrow. It goes through Sunday. Normally, I don't really get set and going until after the second shotgun season. So I think I only have 2 canine sets out. The rest are coon sets, mink sets, small game, creek sets, So after this deer season, we're gonna hopefully get stuff out and going, a little bit heavier than what we are now. So anyway, we had a pretty decent cold snap there. The last few days. It went from over the weekend I was pretty warm, up in the 50s, and it was like 20 degrees this morning whenever I got up. So the animal activity has not been hadn't been real high, at least on the coon side of it, which is what I've got set out. Traditionally, you gotta understand, like a coon per se will go into a state of dormancy early in the year. They won't hibernate per se, at least not this far south. But they will just hole up for a few days, especially early in the season. You guys have seen whenever you skin them, there's all that fat on them. They're capable of just crawling up in a tree, in a hole or in a den, and just sitting it out, waiting out the bad weather. So, we kind of play these warm spells and different weather patterns, and then that'll, cause movement. So actually today, I only caught 3. Like I said, it got real cool, and they were all boars, no females. So, them coons are just not moving. They're good and fat right now. So, things just aren't moving real great. Now, that being said, here what we first week of December, you go second week of January for us. It doesn't matter how cold it is, or how bad the weather is, or how good the weather is, the boars will be rutting, and they're going to be moving nonstop. So that's kind of a pattern that you'll learn over the years. So, not a lot of activity right now, but like I said, here in about 40 days or so, a good 6 weeks, it doesn't matter what's happening. There's going to be a lot of critter movement. So anyway, I always like to kind of wait till that deer season ends. Anyway, the coyote movement, it just kind of gets dulled down. It seems like you got a lot of activity in the woods. You got a lot of carcasses around. They don't seem to want to travel near as far. I like coyote trapping later in the year. Traditionally, that's whenever we freeze up more. So it's easier for me to set, as well as, that's kind of where, you kind of get those dispersal movements too. So anyway, that's kind of what's going on here. Hope y'all are doing very good. Let me make a quick little run through the comments, make sure I'm not missing anything. I'm not going to do a ton of looking through the comments. Like I said, we may do some stuff after, but I want to concentrate on, just a typical evening in the fur shed. So I think it'll be pretty cool for you guys. You all have seen me for years and years and years do videos. As far as just, this is skinning or this is fleshing. Just to kind of put it all in this perspective of just an average night. Obviously this is not a big night by any means. I got 3 coon today. I caught 4 yesterday, so we got 7 critters to deal with tonight. So not that much, but yeah, I think it'll be fun. I think it'll be fun for y'all. So let me make sure here. I don't think I'm missing much. We're gonna go back and do stuff after, but I'm gonna go ahead and get going. If y'all notice, no, I'm not homeless, and no, I don't own one shirt. I traditionally just start out with a shirt every year in the fur shed, and I just wear it all through the season. You know, wash it a couple of times, and I just throw it away and pitch it. That way I'm not burning up all my clothes. So, no, I'm not homeless. Oh, I probably shouldn't have showed that. Y'all make fun of me if you want. I don't care. I drink cheap beer anyway, but I hadn't had one of these since summer, and they are just super delicious. I don't care what you guys think about me. I had to stop and get one all the way down. But on a serious note, if you haven't tried them, they're quite refreshing. All right, so let's grab another beer here real quick, and then we'll get gloved up, and I'm gonna go ahead and just skin everything that I've got, just these 3 boars here, and then we'll kind of try to move the camera around, that way you guys can see. I'll stop every once in a while, make sure I'm not missing a ton of questions, and we'll just kind of go through my average evening here. Not a lot going on. I see a lot of stuff happening here, so let me check real quick. No, I ain't gonna spend a lot of time on questions, y'all. We're just gonna go through and do stuff. So, let me step out. Grab another cold, refreshing beverage. All right, so I think I got to move you around a little bit here. I'm gonna try to position y'all in the angle that I do whenever I actually shoot a video. Make sure you guys can see what's going on here. Oh, this is gonna be tough. All right, let's see about that. This is all the stuff you got to go through before you actually hit record normally, guys, and now it's all live, so I can't screw it up. All right, so we're centered up here. We're gonna go ahead and start. Let's see here. So we're gonna go ahead and skin out these 3 coons. I think. Hey, while y'all are waiting on me to put my gloves on, I always preach it in the regular videos, but hey, if y'all would, that little thumbs up button right there, you got no excuse right now to just hit it. Every single one of you. Do me a favor. It helps me out. Just hit that thumbs up button right now. It'll all be good. Y'all wonder why I always preach it, because it's really just a free way of just supporting the channel, right? So all you got to do is just hit that thumbs up button every time. All right, always wear gloves. Always wear gloves. I've had Giardia before. You know, we're dealing with coons now. You know, there's a lot of deal about distemper and rabies and all that. You know, I've seen some sick coons in the wild and stuff. You're gonna know pretty much. I've never really had an issue with all that. I always do wear gloves though. Obviously, I just damn near cut my finger off a couple weeks ago, so you know, it's healed up now. But yeah, always wear gloves. I don't care what you're dealing with. I have had a batch of Giardia. I think it was, you know, which that you catch through handling a beaver. But yeah, that was bad. That was rough. So anyway, let's get started here. So we'll take our first one, and like I said, this is just kind of an average go here. All this stuff was caught, like I said. This is a nice big prime coon here. They are looking good. Like I said in the other video, I wish that prices were high, because man, the size and the quality has just been awesome. So I'm just not gonna rip through this. You know, I may on the last one or whatever, but I kind of want to show you guys, you know. So this is the first cut knife, right? I get a ton of questions on this. Let me see if, okay. You guys see that? It's shaped just like a triangle. But you know, I get a lot of people that ask me about it. I think it's called a pelter, I call it a first cut knife. But what you're able to do with this knife is you're able to use it almost very similar to a gut hook, right? Where you can put it in, the blade's facing up, so you don't actually dig into the meat, and you can make that first cut on every animal. It doesn't have to just be a coon. It can be on every animal. You know, some guys use razor, like the hook blades for shingles and whatnot. I've tried it. This is honestly my favorite way. Obviously, I'm very set up with my clamp system here. This is just the only way to go, in my opinion, if you know, if you're really doing any kind of numbers. But yeah, First cut knife, I highly recommend it. I think, like I said, I think their label is like Pelters. This is I don't even know what. No, there's a bunch of different manufacturers of them, but here's another one. I use this one whenever I board, but I think it's a Weeby, or however you say that. There's nothing special to them other than there's a knife that you face up. So anyway, come in, cross that heel, come in, cross the boys there because this is a boar. Make that cut. Obviously, we're just going heel to heel. That's all we're doing here. Everybody freaks out about the money cut. Go heel to heel. You won't lose anything. Come around to the vent. See that big old puckered up vent there. Come on each side and just wrap right around it, and just come ahead. There you go. There's nothing to it. Then we'll take this. This is the most important thing. I said it before and I'll say it again. This is a 1/4-inch piece of steel rod. This is all it is. And, come in here right on the vent area and, you can just stick that through. Everybody struggles with pulling those legs off, but look at that. I've got him set right now. All I got to do is pull him. That's it. And there he is. That's the hardest part for a lot of people right there. And then, just cut that loose. You don't need to cut all the way up to the foot. I mean, you just cut that high. Normally, I'm going to cut off a 1/2 inch of that anyway. But, I mean, it's just a rhythm you get into. Give it a good little pull. So, there we go. We're moved in on the clamp here. And then we'll just come in here again, right down there at the base of the hip. It'll come out right there by the vent. Just give a good pull. These are old Grizzly Boars here, so they're tougher than anything. Just take your knife, make that cut. That's it. That's all you got to do. This is that gamble that I keep talking, or gambrel, or whatever you talk about. Just it's so quick. You don't have to deal with choker chains or anything. Slide that out of the way. Make sure I'm still in frame. Now, everybody struggles with the tail here, so it's out of focus. I saw it, I think said autofocus. We're not in focus? I'm sorry. Anyway, we out of focus here. I'm gonna just put that steel right there, right below the base of the tail, and just give it a pull. That'll break all that away. Just take your knife right now and just go right around that tail and break it. Just break that skin. Then we'll take our tail stripper here. Push and pull all at the same time. That's all we got. Piece of cake, right? Take our tail zip. Now, if you don't have a tail zip, that's fine. Whatever. Here, I'll show you how to do it without a tail zip. Take your knife. You guys, let me raise them up a little bit. Take your knife, run right down that tail. That does the same exact thing as tail zip, right? So on coyotes especially, coyotes got that super long, dense fur. A lot of times these tail zips, they hang up a lot. So, I just take my knife most of the time on coyotes and just go ahead and just split the tail like that. All right, come around to the front. Obviously, this is a boar, so we got the fun parts here we got to deal with. Just a couple of cuts. Cut that loose. We're just going to run down to the machine, and we're going to clamp them in. Start pulling. Let's see. Maybe I need to drop you guys down just a little bit. Alright. We've got them pulled down right here. This is where everybody struggles with everything. I don't know why. But if you get it pulled down to where you can see that arm, I mean, that's all you got to do is just pull that arm out. There you go. Pull that arm out. Make that cut. You can leave your arms long because you can cut them off shorter. You know, don't try to short yourself right now because you can always cut them off short in the boarding process. All right, so in this instance right here, just make a cut right there on the base of the head. We're going to pull them up a little bit more. Now, this is the same with all animals, right? Once you see that crease of the skull, that's where you start looking for your ears, right? Make that cut. Pull up a little bit more. We're just going to wrap right around to the eyes. Pull a little bit more. And then the nose. And that's done. That's completely done, y'all. Skin coon. There he goes. That's all you got to do. Don't worry about the ears. Don't worry about nothing. That's it. You can see even these boars got a lot of fat on them this year. So anyway, that's that. That's the first one here. What do I want to do here? We got a couple more to skin here. Let me go back and kind of look at the comments. Let me get a nice cold drink here first. Do more talking here and I do my job. Let's see here. Let me make sure I didn't miss anything in the comments here. Y'all seem to be doing pretty good without me. We got a super chat I want to catch on. Wade, is your camera out of focus or is it just me? Sorry guys, it's on my phone. I hope it's not out of focus. But thanks for the super chat anyway, bud. I appreciate it. Let's see here. I think that's about it. Autofocus is searching a lot. I'm sorry guys. I don't know what to do. Sure there's ways I could help it, but I'm not that smart. So I know it's probably a lot of moving is probably what's causing the autofocus to go all wonky, but I don't know. We're gonna keep going with it anyway. I hope you guys can work through it. Can you do the traditional skinning without pulling the thing? Why not? Let's do that. We got what? We got 500 people in here, and I guarantee you, out of those 500 people, very few of you all have a skinning machine. So let's do this next coon here. We kind of walk through the first. Let's do that. We walk through the first one pretty slow. Let's do the second one. Let's pull it traditional, like without the machine, and then the third one we'll just rip right through normal speed. Right? How about that? All right. We got another super chat. Boring 1500. Hey, appreciate it. Appreciate it very much for the super. Autofocus is fine. Yeah, due to the lighting. I think it's the LEDs. I don't know. My big camera doesn't have a problem with it, but I don't know. I'm sorry. If we're gonna keep doing these lives, y'all are just gonna have to deal with it. But anyway, let's do that. That was a good idea. That was a good question. Let's do that. Let's skin a coon traditional like, right? So let me go grab one here. There's nice specimen here. All right, now even if you don't have a machine, there's still no reason why you can't have some sort of a clamp, right? I firmly believe that. Even if it's a rope or a gamble or something, you still can be able to hang them up. Now you can start these things on a bench, but there's always some way to hang them. So just for the fact that you guys being able to see what's going on and you know, we're just going to go ahead and set them up right here. But I will pull them. I'll pull them by hand. I won't do it. I won't do it with the machine. Guys, by the way, I've got this machine set up or whatever. Super basic machine, right? There's not a lot to it. But you can go to Walmart and buy a hand crank boat winch for, you know, $25 or something. So if you're doing any amount of fur at all, you can hook a winch and a pulley for under $50, right? You can have a very mechanical version of what I've got here, you know, And it really does help. It saves your hands. Like I said, I'm only doing 3 coons tonight, but you know, if I was really running, I may have 10 or 15 coon out here. So, and then a coyote or something. So, you know, fox or something else that I needed to pull. So, you know, it really does pay if you're doing any amount of fur to just go ahead and invest in a decent, cheap machine, I should say. I mean, don't get me wrong. I skinned a bunch of coon in the woods, you know, whenever we was coon hunting. So we'll go ahead and brush this guy out. These are all dryland coon here, so they're not that dirty. They're nice looking coon too. All right, so let's do this. Let's do this without. Let me check the comments here real quick. Oh, make sure I haven't missed anything much. Nope. All right, let's go ahead and we'll do them the same way. And my work sharp took a poop on me the other day, so we're gonna have to go old school here with a knife sharpener. Guys, I sharpen my knife after about every critter, and I usually do it with the work sharp, but I've had that thing since they first came out, and the little bushing took a crap on me the other day, so I gotta go find a new one. I went to 2 different stores and nobody has them. So, all right, same thing. We're gonna start the heel. We're gonna go up, go across the fun parts there, and just go up to the other heel. Start like we did before. All right. Okay, so here, let's me say you don't have that clamp, right? Let's say you've got a gambrel here. So let's hook him up to the gambrel, which, you know, you can have a choker chain. Same thing, right? No big deal. You're just hanging him, right? So we'll do the same deal. Oh, he's gonna pull off of there. I'm not set up for this here. We're clamping. I'm not set up. My gambrel's not set up. Let me see here. I had a choker chain somewhere. Yeah. Here's a choker chain. Well, that's gonna take a minute. No, we're just gonna, like I said, guys, this here, everybody can set up for nothing. This is not hard at all to get set up. Some sort of a clamping device, some sort of a hanging device. Let's just go ahead and we'll just do it like normal. There you go. Okay, now we'll set him up on what would be the gambrel here. And I mean, you can get to this spot pretty dang easy. You know, if you've got a gambrel right there, boom. Set that up, make that initial pull. Always make that cut around the tail. Always make that cut. It just breaks everything free. We're going to pull and we're going to push all at the same time. I know that probably was out of focus. That was a lot of movement. Split that tail. So even if you're skinning in a shop or whatever, you should be able to raise your gambrel. You know, if you're not, put a little bit more effort into it. You know, figure out a way to raise your gambrel. Okay, so here we go. This is where everybody, I got to shut down my stove. Goodness. It's like 30 degrees outside, but it's calm. All right. Hey, by the way, we got 600 people in here. Y'all do me a favor, hit that like button while y'all waiting on me here. I'll even give you a second or two. All right. So we've got him here. Let's just go ahead and pull him. Now, easiest way. Now, this is the biggest reason why I use a machine. Simply is if you do this over and over and over again, it's just hard on your hands, right? But if you're doing a couple of them, so grab right there where that hide meets the skin, roll your fist down in. Just roll it right there. Very simple. And I'm trying to keep this in frame. But if you really, really want to, you can see, I mean, I'm shoulder high. So, you know, that's, I guess, technically tougher. If you really want to, lower that sucker down and put some force into it. You know, it's not that hard, especially on fatty critters. you know, the fattier the critter, the easier he is to peel that hide from his carcass. So there we go. We've ripped him down right to his right to that arm spot again. Real quick here, I seen a couple super chats, and I know I need to catch up with them guys, so I apologize. I'm going to take some time here real quick and catch up on the super chats here. AK Outdoorsman, thanks for the info and great videos. I appreciate it, sir. Thank you much, or ma'am. Been watching you for years. Love the stuff, and I've learned a lot from your channel. Cheers from Nevada. Danny Warner. Yeah, Danny Warner. I appreciate it, sir. Thank you. Thank you very much. And Luke Shipley. Thank you very much. I appreciate the super chats. All right. So we've got him pulled down to here by hand. You can see we've got the arms set out here. Now, two different ways to do this. You can either just take your thumb and knead that through. That's where everybody struggles, I feel like, is right there. That little crease line. Very simple. Just push and pull, push and pull. We'll make that cut. Come over here to the other side. I'll show you this other trick. So there we have right there. Take you a blunt rod, either the steel or, you know, your 1/4 inch rod, whatever. You guys need this. If you're skinning anything, get a piece of 1/4 inch rod that's about 16 to 18 inches long, and it will change your life. So we'll take our rod here. We'll just poke it right through. So that way we don't have to deal with all it. And you can pull down with just as much force as you want right there. And that'll pull that arm all the way down and make that separation. And then we can push and pull. And we can make our cut. Obviously, we're going to leave our arms long. Now, here we come to the head again. This is where everybody, struggles for the most part. Now, that transition between the neck to the skull is the tough one. Once you start coming down the skull, everything just kind of falls in line. So give it a good, nice pull. We're going to have to do just a little bit more knife work here, simply because we don't have tension that the machine's pulling on it. If you want, guys, and I'm dead serious with this, if you're not going to build a machine for $50, go spend $30 on a 30-pound weight, which I know this sounds dumb, but you might as well just go build a machine. But go buy one of those, the big dumbbell things, a 30-pounder. And you can actually put a choker chain on your animal and use that tension to help you once you get to this point. That cinder block will work, honestly. But if you use one of the big steel weights, if you go buy something, whatever. But if you have any amount of tension at all on that, it will only make your job easier here. You can use a railroad tie, anything, not railroad tie, but a railroad rail, any kind of heavy weight. And if you can just put pressure on that, it will help you. But obviously we don't have any pressure on there. So we're just going to do a little bit more knife work. Now the whole time I want to be cutting into the carcass, right? I don't want to be cutting down at all. I want to be cutting straight in. And that'll keep us from cutting this hide. So we're just going to keep working right around. And I'm just going to keep kind of pulling. With these critters, once you get to the head, you can kind of just start closing your hand and, kneading around the head. Okay. Right there, you're going to always see the ear cartilage appear. So we're just going to cut straight in. There's the ears. You can see nice closed ears. Come around the corner here. Nice closed ears. Give it a pull. I mean, take a look at this critter, right? If you're, take a look at the critter before you skin it if you're unsure of where the ears and the eyes are. Now what I like to do whenever I'm skinning by hand, put your thumb and your forefinger there in the ears, and that gives you a good solid place to pull, right? And then we can just slowly start working it down. And obviously we know that the eyes are straight in line down with the from the ears. So we just keep kneading it and pulling it, kneading and pulling it. Give it a good little pull. There we come to the eyes. You can see I'm I mean, I followed around that eye socket. Look, see that? No problem. Come to the mouth there, which is right below the eye on every critter. It doesn't change. Then you can get your hand in there and simply just get your finger in there. That gives you another pull point. Like I said, any place you can get pressure is only going to make this skinning job easier, right? Just a little bit more cutting. Obviously, you guys can see I'm doing a lot more cutting than I was with the machine because I don't have tension on it. But I am pulling down. We're just going to go ahead. Once we get to the back side of the lip here, on the machine it pulls off. We're just going to cut it here. The bottom lip has no value. Work that with our knife. Right down. Cut that nose off. There he looks. And there's your coon skinned without a machine. Pulling it standard style. I've done this a lot, guys. I've done this a ton in the woods. Where you're a mile and a half back into the timber coon hunting, and you don't want to pack, you may tree like 3 or 4 coons. It's easier just to skin them and pack out this. So anyway, there's coon number 2. Pretty simple, pretty straightforward. Awesome. So we've got one more. And I am about out of cold drink, so one more coon to skin, and I'm going to leave it to you guys in the comments. I'm going to ask you all real quick to hit that like button for me, and then I'm going to ask you, how do you want us to skin that last coon? Do you want me to skin it on the machine, or do you want me to go full bore, full time, or pull again, old school style, and you guys can get a better look? So I'll give you guys just a little second here to tell me what you guys want, because obviously I'm doing this for you guys. So let me know, and then we'll skin that dude, and then we're gonna get the fleshing. We got fleshing and boarding to do yet too. I almost opened it with my hands, but then I figured out I just touched a coon's ass, so we'll do it with the teeth. All right. Whoa, there, coming in fast. Let's see here. Man, it is a split 3 ways. I don't know. Oh, man. I shouldn't have gave so many options. They're coming in fast and furious. Oh boy. It was old school for a second, y'all. It was old school. But it seems like fast with the machine. It seems like fast with the machine is the ones winning. So we'll yeah, fast with the machine. I think that's gonna win. Which is, we haven't done that yet, right? We've done one kind of tutorial. We've done one old school. Let's do one, and it's the biggest one too. It's the biggest one of the bunch. So let's we'll do it real quick. Like I said, we got fleshing to do, so and boarding. So let's get this done here real quick. Oh, look at this big guy, man. This is the one I took the thumbnail with. This could be my dog. I'm telling you, the size this year, guys. The size is just, I don't know what anything. That's just the same. That's just sad. I mean, I'm still gonna make money. Don't get me wrong. I've got options, but I mean, it's just not. This isn't a $25 coon. I got a super chat here. We're gonna catch up real quick, guys. Got a super chat. Dennis Lawhead. Love the channel. Keep up the good work. Dennis, I really appreciate it. Thank you much. Awesome. I got 730 people in here, guys. I feel like that's pretty dang good. So if y'all would take just a second, hit that like button for me while I brush this coon out, and then we're gonna go full bore on him here. Haha, you get it? Because he's a boar. We're gonna go full bore. Yep, hit that like button, y'all. I appreciate it. This is a pet grooming brush. You probably wouldn't tell because I've had it forever, but it's just got the fine little, it's just for pulling the hair out of your dog. This is what I use. I got two of them. This is a real coarse one here for if you got a lot of cockaburs in the coyotes especially, they'll get cockaburs in them, and you'll really have to work it out. But just for coons and, you know, the real short-haired critters, this thing here, well, it's all full of fur now. Let me clean it out. You use one brush to clean the other brush out. But yeah, this thing's lost about half its teeth. Probably the camera's going crazy right now, but anyway, that's all it is. Just a simple little, you get it at the dollar store, $2-3 fur brush, and it will pull a lot of the mud and the matting out. It just makes it easier. So anyway, that's that, guys. Make sure I'm not missing anything. All right. One more nice refreshing, and we'll go. All right, here we go, y'all. Y'all wanted to see this. Nice big boar here. Same thing every time. Repetition is the key. There's nothing that you change about this. It's the same with every critter, right? That is a big old boar. He's going to have a big scar patch on him whenever we go to flesh him, guys. I guarantee you that. This dude's been around the block a time or two. Oh. Yep. That's a big old brute there. This is what would be, you know, he's going to stretch out to be like he's going to be a 4X, so. But you can see here, I'm not changing anything. I'm doing everything the exact same way as I've done previous-wise. The only difference, you know, is you don't have to go through this step with the females, but that's that. Clamp him in. I've got a video on my machine. I'm gonna do another video here shortly because I've been getting a lot of questions on it. But yep, they're not that difficult. You can see what the tension does though. See by having that tension, just how quick it's just so much less effort, right? And that was a big old boar coon. I mean, that was, you know, 4X coon. So, anyway, that is that. That's all our skinning, folks. Like I said, we didn't have a real good day, but I mean, just look at how nice that sucker looks, right? That's just a, whoo, it's a good one. That's a good one, y'all. All right. Oh, hit my head on this dude trying to check comments here. I'm telling you what, guys, you think that live isn't completely different than doing videos. It is completely different. there's a lot more going on doing this live thing. I enjoy it though. I really do. I enjoy this live thing. So, anyway, let's see. Let me make sure. Let me go back up here real quick. Well, we're going already on to like close to an hour. So, can we hit 1,000 people? Well, I hope we can. We got 800 in there. Can we get 800 likes? Would that help us out? Can y'all hit the like button? That'd help me. That'd help me. Make sure. Okay, so obviously you guys saw. Let me get this super chat here real quick. Nick Post, love the videos, and have you heard of Grooming Fur Company that drives around the U.S. buys fur? Also, could you go over your machine? Yeah, if we go, we get to the end of it here. I may pull the camera off the tripod, but like I said, I know we're having autofocus issues, so I'm gonna try to keep it as still as possible. But I will do a video on my machine. It's pretty basic, really. Appreciate the super chat, Nick. As far as Groenwald, yes, Groenwald they're north of me. They're based out of Illinois. They are kind of a buy here, pay kind of place, right? So far where, they're not an auction house where your fur sits there for a time. You take your fur to Groenwald, they're going to pay you right there on the spot. So anyway, that's for some people that's a big advantage. For other people, not. But yes, I have heard of Groenwald. I plan on splitting what fur I have this year. Probably I'll split it about in half, or at least I'm gonna sell some to Groenwald anyway. I'd like to get you guys a video, if nothing else, of selling to Groenwald. I think that would be a cool video, selling to a guy like that. Because honestly, after Napa went down, rip to them. But after Napa went down, Groenwald really stepped up. Before the two big auction houses were Fur Harvesters and Napa, Groenwald did a lot of the buy here, pay here stuff. But now it's Fur Harvesters and Groenwald are the two big ones in the country. So yeah, good question. We'll definitely try to get the skinner machine up. I'm gonna do a dedicated video on it. But anyway, let's see. Let's move stuff around here. Y'all just take a second here, and I'm gonna move some stuff around here, and I gotta get suited up, and we're gonna flesh out some stuff here real quick. I'm gonna move these critters here. A lot of questions. So in the first shed number 4, I did just a real quick demo where I skinned and fleshed and boarded a coon. Yes, I still use the washing machine. I 100% believe that, at least with I would consider myself southern fur. Being centrally located in the U.S., I still don't have great fur. I have seen an advantage in washing my fur, as far as bumping it up a color grade. We're in red clay, not like you guys down south, but we're in clay. You catch a muddy coon, he looks bad. You wash him, he looks a lot better. So I still wash it. I've got the washing machine set up there. These 3 will go in the washing machine here at the end of this video. I'm not going to turn it on while we're live. But they're going to go through a rinse cycle with straight water. That's it. Just a rinse cycle with water. And then they're going to get hung up by their nose. And then tomorrow morning before I go to work, I'm going to come out and I'm going to put them in the refrigerator so they'll be cold whenever I come out here tomorrow night to flesh them. That's my system. That's my rotation. You got to get them dry before you board them. But I do rinse them, So anyway, that's that. Let me kind of move some stuff around here and get suited up. I got to turn this stove down. Holy crap. It is warm in here tonight. It is like, what is it? It's like 65 degrees in the shop, and that is too warm. You always wonder about temperature. I like to keep it about 50 in here, because you're moving around, flushing, you're doing a lot of working, and you just don't want to be sweating. Like I said, this is a smaller fur shed than my old one, but super easy to heat. So, let's move some stuff around here. It's not quite as good to film in, I would say, as my old one, but we're going to move some stuff around here. We're going to get set up to flesh. Go back here. Okay, so these are our coons from yesterday. There's 4 coons just come out of the fridge here in this box. You can see, nice fluffy coon. They've just been in the fridge just because they're cold. It's just so much easier to flesh stuff whenever it's cold. I don't care what critter it is. You get that fat to harden up, and it just, in my opinion, there's just no other way to do it. And plus it's a nice rotation for me, right? I like the rotation of it. you know, where you're not dedicated to one thing or the other. You can come in here, you skin, flesh, and board all, you know, all one night, and it just works for me. Put on our apron here. Best apron ever, the Grundens. I've got a link to it in that first shed number 4. I'll leave a link to it in this video after it gets published. So these are just gauntlet gloves. And look, I'm like completely protected now from all the fleshings. This is the best part. All right, real quick here. Before I move you guys, I saw a couple super chats go by. I want to make sure that I get those. So let me check them out here. We got Nix, John Towner, D. Croy. Can you show what tool you use to pull your earth anchors? I don't have it with me, John. Or Jay, sorry. But I use a couple different tools. I use a hay hook, and I've made my own pulling tool to pull earth anchors. I will show those in a video. I apologize, I don't have them with me right now. They're not here in the first shed. They're in my truck. But yeah, I use a hay hook, and I've made my own kind of cantilever system. So, good question. You guys will see it in a video. I'm going to show you. We've got Hilltop Outdoors. Thanks for everything you do. This format is great. On the next video for your machine, can you share the dimensions? Signpost height width. He wants to see the dimensions, basically. Yes. A lot of people have been asking about the machine, so I will get a machine. I'll get a video up here pretty quick, and we're going to go over the machine. It's pretty simple. It's pretty straightforward. And then we have another super chat from Jed Olson. Love the videos. Thanks for the info, Jed. I appreciate the super chat. Appreciate your support. Awesome. All right. So we're rolling right along, guys. We've been going almost an hour, and I still have 4 critters to flesh and board. So we're gonna get right rolling here with it. I appreciate everybody hanging out with me. This is fun. This is awesome. Like I said, I really enjoyed the last time here we did this, and I don't want to make this a habit. I don't want to make every video alive, but yeah, I really enjoy interacting with y'all. It's fun. So anyway, let me get set up here. Let me move you guys around. Be able to see the fleshing beam real good, and we're gonna rip through. Obviously, I had kind of intentions of doing this at like normal pace, but obviously I got shot to hell. So anyway, yeah, we're going a lot longer. Just to give you guys just kind of a time frame. Normally, if I was to come out here to skin 3 coons, would take me about, from start to finish, I can do them in under 2 minutes. I can do them in under 2:30 just from rolling, just average. So, you know, 3 coons, you're talking just say 10 minutes. We're talking kind of that's a piece for boarding and 4 for stretching roughly, you know. So if I would come out here for about an hour, a little less than an hour, 45 minutes to an hour, that would be my evening for 7 critters. I could do it a lot faster. If I had more critters, I would obviously go faster. But yeah, that's just kind of my average. Skinning coons are real easy. Coyotes take me a little bit longer. Obviously, they're just bigger critter and tougher. But yeah, I spend, I would say, on an average, you know, an hour and a half every evening doing all this, getting caught up. Like I said, we're having fun out here tonight. We're having a good time. We're talking. We're interacting here with y'all, and so it's going a little slower, but I really do enjoy it. Really do enjoy it. We got another super chat here. We got Nizzy No Life. Great videos. Nizzy, appreciate it. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for the super chat. All right. Let's move over here. I got an extension cord plugged in. I got so much going on here. Let me see if I can bring you guys around. Let's see. That is about. Is that the best I can do? Ow. Tight quarters here, guys. Tight quarters. We're reconnecting. Dadgum, I'm sorry. Oh, I told you I did not have the great service. It says we're live again, but we lost like everybody. We're back though. Dadgum. I'm sorry, y'all. I said I had bad service. All right. We got a few. We're still here. Everybody's coming back. Okay. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this. I moved underneath my loft of my first shed and we lost connection. So I don't know. Hopefully that was just a glitch. I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm very sorry, y'all. I'm going to try it one more time. I'm going to try to bring you guys real slowly into the to the fleshing beam. If we lose connection, then then we're just going to reconnect real quick, and then we're going to do we're going to finish out with the Q&A, because obviously I can't move you guys 5 feet. I don't understand that. Anyway, we're going to try here. So I apologize, y'all. I do apologize. I said this was going to be tough with this live. I said this is going to be tough. So I'm going to move you guys right now very slowly where I want you. Hopefully you'll be okay. Oh, this is the stuff you got to deal with live, right? This is the stuff you got to deal with live. You don't have to deal with this in a regular video. We're still live. Oh, good. Okay, last time we were reconnecting, so we've done better. We've moved 4 feet and we're good. We're good? Okay. Well, I think we got it. I think we made that 5-foot move uninterrupted this time. Yo, good Lord, I'll tell you what. This is calls for another drink. I'll tell you. My goodness. I told you, I'm never far from my natty. I built shelves everywhere just for it. Okay, so let's see. That's pretty good, eh? You guys can see that. My head's chopped off, but that's good enough. Let me see if I can bring my tablet over here real quick. Apologize to everybody. We lost, we reconnected. I'm not good at what I do. It's okay. Yeah, we're good. We're good. We're back. We're back. We got some people. We lost a lot, but we're good. All right, so let's fleshing here. Okay. Let's start fleshing. We've done screwed around enough. All right, so we've got our critters. They're getting cold. Okay. We're good. We're good. We're still connected. Awesome. All right. Now, I like to start with the arms up. What it does is if I start with the arms up, then I'll roll it over 3 times and I'll end up on the back. That'll give me just a narrow strip, which is what everybody struggles with, the hardest part. Fleshing knife. This is a post knife. I've got the bevel. You know, a lot of fleshing knives are beveled with one side, right? So I've got the bevel facing outward. And that way you've got that cutting edge. You lay that knife blade right tight to the critter, okay? Right tight to him. So we're going to start right here. Don't deal with the head. Don't worry about the head. From the ears up, doesn't matter. There's not enough fat on just about any critter you're going to catch that is going to worry about it. That'll dry. There is no value if you're selling for the market, for the auction market. Now, I will say, if you are selling, or if you're going to tan it for your own, if you've got a bunch of fat and meat on the head, scrape it off. You're going to have to do it in the tanning process anyway. But this is all going to get sold, so we're going to start right here. We're going to use our fleshing knife on the sharp side, just to get started around all that hard cheek meat. You can see what I moved 2 inches or so, okay? And I'm slicing at it. I'm going like that. But I've got my knife right tight to the board here, okay? We're just gonna work right down, and we're gonna basically go the width of the board, and then I'm gonna flip over. I'm gonna flip over to the dull side, okay? Now, whenever I push with the dull side, I'm still gonna keep my knife pretty flat to the board, okay? We're just going to work right around that arm. You can see right there. Just pushing that fat off. Now remember, right underneath the arms are the nipples. So we just want to roll right over those. Push down. We're going to roll this buddy right over. This kind of splits down the center of the belly, I guess, if you would. So you always end up with this big chunk of cheek meat. Or I always do anyway. So we want to get rid of that. That's where we use our sharp side. Just using our sharp side just a little bit here to get going. And then we're going to go commence the pushing. The quicker you can get the pushing, the better. Work around that arm. Hopefully this is not going all wonky and going out of focus for you guys. I'm not really watching it, but okay. Flip her around. Now we come to the back here. You can see right here we've made it all the way around, and we've got an area about that wide. That's the back. That's where everybody struggles. Start right at the ears. We're just gonna go ahead and flesh just like normal. Now this is a female. If this was a boar, he'd more than likely have a real bad scar patch about 4 or 5 inches down from the ears. This is a female, so she doesn't. But about where the arms start is about, that's the hard part. That's where I normally switch. You can kind of feel it. We're just going to commence to the pushing. Okay, you can see the whole time I've been doing this, I haven't like really been over. I've just been working right here. That's super comfortable for me. I guess I like my beam at a little higher angle than most. So I'm just going to pull him up. I've got this little wicker bill clamp here. This doesn't affect the hide, hurt the hide at all. It just makes it to where that clamps that, and then it just sticks kind of up against my belly, and it doesn't let that hide roll down. And then from there, then we're just working the rest of the fat off the edge of the hide here. So we're just going to pull it right off the tail, and we just roll it around, no big deal. Actually, guys, this was a long time ago. I like the clamp method, but way back in the day, before I was selling to Napa, I sold to a couple of local guys, and I sold to one local guy, and he actually had a pretty cool method. Now, he used his beam that was, it was very horizontal, way more horizontal than I would ever use it. I would be way stretched out if I had his beam in the manner that he had. He had it almost at an angle like this. But he had actually taken his apron and he had mounted his beam to quite a sharp point here. And he'd taken like a 2.5 inch end cap, like Schedule 40 end cap, and actually fastened it to his apron. And then that way he could put his belly into that beam and secure that hide. And then it, that way it would basically do the same thing as this. It would clamp. I thought it was a really cool idea. Just, I don't like my beam that horizontal. I watched him flesh a couple of critters, and he just had to turn it so much more. Obviously I turned it 3 times, and then turned it 3 more times. And I was still right here within, my comfort zone per se. So, but that is definitely an option. Like I said, I've seen it a couple different times, but it was a good idea. So I wipe my beam off. You guys just saw I wipe it off after every critter. This is the PVC beam. This started out as 10 inch. I started out with a necker knife. It's graduated. Obviously, the post knife does not have near the curve in it that the necker does. So this 10-inch piece of PVC fit the necker perfect. I actually ended up grinding this down quite a little bit flatter whenever I really went for the post knife. So that's some of the things that you guys have seen over the years. The Lee Steinmeier knife, it's pretty well, it follows, it's a little bit more curved, I would say. If that's showing up, it's a little bit more curved. I mean, all these work on the on this beam, but you know, it's just whatever. You guys can see here's the necker, and it's obviously got a lot more curve than this post knife. So it fit this 10-inch PVC a lot better. Right now it's making contact on, oh good Lord, probably 1.25 inches of this beam, which is a lot. It's a lot to be pushing. You know, with the post, the way I've got it ground down right now, and you can see I've only got it ground down about about a foot, because that's my work area. I'm probably contacting, I don't know, 3/4 of an inch or so, and then by the time you put the coon on there, it just works perfect. So let me see here. That was one coon. We got 3 more to do. If you guys want to see it, I know I apologize about the whole debacle there with the losing service, but let me go back and make sure I didn't miss any super chats or really important comments here. Hopefully this thing will load. I'll get another one loaded up here real quick. Let's see. I did miss a couple of super chats. I want to on Bushman. Doesn't matter if you accidentally cut the ear holes a little bigger, like 1/4. And I appreciate the super chat, Bushman. It really doesn't matter that big of a deal. Now, if you really start, you know, really hogging them out, obviously, you know, you're graded from the ears down. I like to have my ear holes about as tight as I can get them, you know. So just, you know, practice makes perfect in that situation. But definitely don't lose any sleep if you screw up and cut the ear holes a little bit bigger. Good question. I get that a lot too. You know, in this situation, practice makes perfect. All right, we got one from Raid Redburn. Raid Redburn here. Great videos, bud, and I've learned a lot from you. So thank you a lot. If you want a bobcat, come over to Missouri. I'll let you trap them. Yeah, you guys got a ton of them. I don't even think you guys have a limit over there on bobcats, and I can't even get a permit. So Wayne, appreciate it. Appreciate the super chat, bud. Appreciate it. All right, let's go to another one here. We'll do this one just a little bit faster. I kind of ran through that one pretty slow. This is an old Grizzly Boar. I can already see. You can tell right off the bat whenever you roll them over, they just don't have the fat on them that a female does. Look at all that meat, and that's a boar coon. Yeah, there he is. That's a boar coon. So, yep. We'll rip through him pretty quick here. So, same thing. Just start off with our sharp side. This is the part that I enjoy, guys. Honestly, you know, I know a lot of people doesn't like fleshing, but you know, I can just sit here and, you know, obviously if I wasn't live, I'd probably have the radio on. And I'll tell you what, I can get in a rhythm here and just roll. And I really, really enjoy fleshing. Probably my favorite critters to flesh, I would say would be probably beaver. I mean, obviously I don't have a problem with the coon here, but probably a beaver or a deer I really enjoy. It's so much satisfaction because you're just peeling off material, especially with a beaver. You know, that fat just rolls off. You can see I'm just starting at right below the ears here. This is a boar coon, and you can see I'm working him down just a little bit further. There's the old scar patch right there. I was like try to get past that with the sharp side. That's what he goes in and out of dens basically, and you guys will see it. They'll start rubbing. They call it rubbing later in the season, and you know, they're just like deer. They'll go to rutting and rubbing, and they'll actually sometimes you'll end up getting holes in the hide just because they're just so focused on breeding that that they'll actually just literally wear a hole in the hide, and that will scar from year to year. And that's where that scar tissue, if you're not careful, you can very easily pop a hole in the hide. So we've come here to the fun parts here. Now, very quickly, you can do this in the boarding process, or you can do it in the fleshing. That's all that is. That will be, we're gonna trim right up to that whenever we board that. I make my windows right up to the bottom of that hole. So that's that coon there. We've got two more. I feel like we're running long, so let's rip through this one. This is a female here. I can tell just by grabbing them, just by the weight. The females always have more fat on them. We did not get the beam dirty at all on that one, so no big deal here. We're just going to continue on. Oh, is it a female? No, it is a male. It's a boar. That's a fatty boar. That dude has a ton of fat on him. He's well and healthy. That dude is primed and ready to go here. So, yep, same process as all you guys can see here. Make sure we get underneath the arms real good. And it's the same thing every time. There's not a lot going on here. This little move here, you just kind of flip the arm up and just go right below it. If you really wanted to here, you could pull that arm up the beam and flush it down like that. I don't. I just, over the years, I've figured out just kind of flip it up. But yeah, coming over to the head here, you can see there's a big scar patch right there, right below his head. We're just going to try to just very lightly go over it where we don't open that up. That's all going to be done with the sharp side. You can see all that scar tissue from years past, and it goes right down the back. It's kind of a gristly, once I get past that is where I'll start pushing. So that was a pretty gristly patch there. Make sure we get all that off. A lot of you guys comment on why the leather is so light in my videos, and honestly, this is as prime as coon's gonna get right here. A lot of times in the videos, and it's really nothing I can do, but a lot of time it's just overexposed. Maybe this camera here will show a little bit better, but I mean, you're looking for that cream color leather, and then obviously, so there's the fun parts. Just make that one quick cut there with the sharp side. That's no big deal. Like I said, whenever we board that, we're gonna cut right up to it, so don't worry about it whatsoever. You can see how much fuel this dude's got on him. I mean, I'm gonna be able to heat the first shed for a whole night just on that dude. He was well prepared for the winter. Usually the boars this time of year are not that fatty. That's very surprising. We come to the tail here, and I'm just kind of going, I push to one side and then I push to the other. And that's pretty much it. There's that dude. We've got one more. Let me wipe my hands off. Let me make sure, check in the chat here real quick. Make sure I haven't missed anything. We got one more here. I'll check in the chat and make sure we don't need to do anything super special. Let's see. Did miss a super chat. Jeff Croker? I'm going to call you Jeff Croker. Jeff Croker, appreciate the super chat. Do you wash the fur prior to fleshing? Yes. Yes. In my opinion, do not wash your fur after fleshing. And here's the reason. That fur will dry a lot better if it's still got the flesh on it, right? If you would wash it right now, if you throw this coon right here, throw this coon right now in the washing machine and wash it, then you're going to have to board it in a pretty quick manner. And then you're going to fight issues with getting it to dry properly. You know, obviously that coon has to be boarded with the fur in. So that means you're going to wash it. And if you try to dry it, then by the time it's dry, then this hide's already going to start to shrink. Okay, so you're much better off to go ahead and wash it before you flesh, right? So obviously you see what I've done here. I've started with a very clean beam. I'll turn this fur out here for you. You can see there's absolutely nothing on him. You know, I started with a clean beam here. There's no problems with this. This is as clean a fur as it was before I went to the fleshing process. So no, I highly recommend, if you're going to wash them, go ahead and wash them, before fleshing. That's my honest opinion on it. And I've done this for years. Obviously, you can see with that guy here, I've got a little bit of goop on my fleshing beam here, so I'm just gonna wipe that down real quick. I've got this clean beam to start this next coon, and it'll be good to go. This is a nice coon here. Nice coon here. You can see the nice white fat on him. Good healthy coon here. Female, obviously here. You see all the fat on the flanks. Just a super healthy coon. So we're gonna rip through this one real quick here. And then we're gonna get the boarding. I'll look through the comments here in a second, but yep, just look at that nice white leather there. Rip through this guy real quick. Obviously, right off through the arms. Just make sure you kind of those nipples are right in line with the arms. So just be aware of them. I mean, it's not the end of the world if you hit them. You can pin them. The belly doesn't have the value that the back does, but obviously you're going to get docked if you've got substantial holes in your hide. And if you're boarding on wire, it's a lot harder to hide those holes without sewing them. So anyway, we come to the back here. Obviously, this is a female, so it's going to be, pretty straightforward. We don't have a lot of issues there with the scar tissue. That's a nice prime white hide there, you can see. So with my method, you can see you basically pull it, you go around, you pull it up halfway, and then you spin it around the rest of the time. So it's just not a lot of movement. To each his own on the fleshing deal. This is just something that I've my rhythm that I've gone to over the years. On the belly side, I'm not too terrible worried. If you've got a little bit of stuff that's you just didn't quite run off the edge, don't worry about it, because we can trim that off in the boarding process. The big deal is the tail. We want to make sure we get that tail good and clean. Obviously, the side-to-side motion, and we're done. There we go. Okay, so there's our 4 coons fleshed, and they're now ready to board. So, let me see here. That was probably a good little bit of running around without checking the comments here. Let me check the comments, and then we're going to move you guys right over, and we'll board these up super quick. And then we'll take a little bit of time. We're running pretty long. We've already been running an hour and 20 minutes, so we'll see if we can't wrap this up with a good Q&A. Got a super chat here I want to catch up on. Illegal Outdoorsman, kind of satisfying to watch you for sure. I appreciate the super chat, man. Yeah, does not come with without a lot of practice. Or there's something to be said about doing it a lot of times. That's all it is, just practice. So anyway, I appreciate the super chat. Okay, so let me move you guys over. I'm gonna go really slow this time, so hopefully we don't lose service again. I'll kind of set you guys up here. I'll be out of frame for just a second here, and we'll go ahead and do that. Let's see here. Ooh. I got her too warm in here, guys. I got her too warm. I'm almost sweating. All right, I gotta step outside real quick, grab me another cool, refreshing beverage here. I said it before and I'll say it again. I love this time of year. I'm not an animal. I won't open them with what I've touched. Awesome. All right. Let me move you guys down here. I'm gonna have to kind of. Oh, what am I have to do here? I gotta move some stuff around so you guys can see the boarding process here. Okay. Let me see here. Move you guys around. This is kind of the position that I set you all up whenever I'm. Oh, we're at the end of our cord here. This is kind of the position I set you all up whenever I'm video and regular. So let's raise you all up. That should be pretty good, huh? I think that'll be pretty good for you. Let's see here. Like I said, guys, this is difficult with this old with the live. You don't get all the time to move stuff around and make mistakes like you do whenever you're video and regular, huh? Okay, I think that's pretty good, huh? Yep. All right, let's board these dudes. So we're gonna board them. I don't have any wire here, or else I would do one on wire for you guys. I apologize. I still firmly believe in whatever market you sell, you end up with better fur on wood. Period. I don't. You just end up with a more uniform product, right? So we've got coon here. We're gonna go ahead and put him on the board. Let's see there. Awesome. Stick him on the board. I want his nose right underneath the top of the very top of the board there. And we're gonna pull him down. Okay. Very simple. Yeah, you're still in the frame. All right, so this is where I just kind of lay him down flat like this. Let me see. Yep, you guys can see. Okay, automatic stapler, electric stapler, whatever you want to call it. I've got a hand one somewhere. Where is he? I don't know. I've got a hand one somewhere, but all I've done here is I've just adjusted this to where I can, these staples just don't drive all the way. So I like, this thing will take 1/2-inch staplers, and I use the biggest staples I can, obviously, because I'm wanting to pull these. So I don't want to drive them all the way in. Let me where is that? Okay, so here's my hand stapler. If you don't have an electric stapler, this is just your run-of-the-mill. Arrow staples take T50 staples, right? This thing will take, this thing will take up to probably a 1/2 inch or 9/16 as well. Anyway, all I've done with this one is I've actually just zip tied a clothespin on the end of it. And like I said, all you're trying to do is keep that stapler from driving that staple all the way in. Obviously, I've got a big foam piece of pins here, and I could pin every single one of them. But I just find staples are just easier. They're super easy to pull. They don't fall out whenever your fur dries. I don't know. To each his own on that. I like staples, and obviously, I mean, there's probably been 150 coon on this one board, and you can see. I mean, it's full of holes everywhere, but it still holds great. So I like the staples. So we've got them boarded here, obviously. Now I like to start right in the center next to the tail. That's going to give you your best bet of getting the longest or the biggest fur, right? So this coon here is going to be a 3X. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull his tail down, not super tight because I want to get the edges down, but I'm going to pull it down. It's going to be past a 3X, put his tail in the middle, and I'm going to put a staple on each side of the tail. Now, as I do that, you can see, if you guys can see that, I've almost pleated that just a little bit. There's a little ridge there. And what that's going to do is it's going to really condense the fur in that area, in that inspection window on the back side, which is how they're going to grade that. So then we're going to take, now there's no need to be yanking on this, pulling it down past this staple. We've set our size by putting a staple. They measure these coon from the very nose, the tip of the nose, to the base of the tail, right there. So if you pull this skin down here, you're still going to get it measured to right there. Doesn't matter, okay? So you're kind of costing yourself money in reality, because if you were just to leave it level or high, same distance as this, that will actually condense that fur just a little bit there. So we're just going to come straight across. We're going to put another staple. I use 3 staples per side. Same way on the other side. Now, we end up with just that little tab there. We're going to cut that off in just a second. But that's what that money cut gives you. By doing that vertical cut all the way from heel to vent, that gives you that nice straight line all the way across. Okay, now we're going to flip them over to the belly side. Now, obviously, like I said, whenever we skinned them, we cut way up the heel and whatnot. But, that's no, we don't need that. But we got something to play with, which is good, right? So this is all kind of funky and at an angle. So I like to take a pair of scissors and I like to square it all off. We're just going to just toss that in the flushing pile, square that off. No big deal. And then we don't want to pull this super tight, right? Because we've already established this is our size line. So we're just going to just keep it taut. You don't want to have it super loose where it's like creased over itself, because then whenever you hang it, it'll fall over itself, and that's a chance for the fur to slip because it won't dry properly, right? Okay, so this is a boar coon here. Obviously, that's the fun parts hole that we just opened up with our fleshing knife. And to each his own, but that right there is not good for anything. That flabby bit, that goes from fun parts A to fun parts B, right? And there's no need for that. And what that does is, as that dries, they'll actually close off the window, the inspection window, which is how they grade that. So what I like to do is I like to come right to the very top of that hole, and I like to just come down, and we're just going to take just the slightest little bit off the edge of that window. Just make it clean, make it look nice. Come right around the edge, this side here too. So it looks like that we took off a lot, but it's just fuzzy bit. And you can see we've got a nice clean window here. As that dries, that'll open up to about yay. There's no reason to pin it that way, but that'll open up, and then that'll give the grader a good window, right? As far as the arms, there's no need to leave long arms. There's a chance if you leave them long, they'll hang over, depending on how you hang your board, and there's a chance for it to slip. So I just pull it taut and cut them off, and they'll dry just perfect. Let's see here. You guys can't see that. Okay, so there's the bottom lip. That has absolutely no value. There's always just that little bit of cheek meat left, so we're just going to trim right up to the nose. Right up to the nose. Perfect. Your nose will kind of catch right there. Always remember the belly board. Belly board is super important. Right there. And there he be. So we're just going to set him aside. And then we're going to hang him up. I hang him up always. I hang him from the base of the board to hang it down. What that does is that allows the grease, what's left in it as it leaches out, to actually fall down. So I'll show you on the next one here. What it'll do is, let's see here. We got this one. This is going to be. You always hear me talk about releasing everything extra large. This is going to be right here at an extra large. This was not a great big coon, but this is going to be. You can see right there. That's my extra large. That's my extra large. That's what this coon's going to be. Anything smaller than that, I release. Pin them. Cut that. Cut that. 2 staples in the feet. We'll trim the window slightly. Add belly board, and I just it's funny whenever you're live, you forget stuff. But I forgot to do the tail for you guys on that last one. We'll flip this dude over. So I've got a piece of hardware cloth. I'm trying to rush through this, guys, because I feel like I'm running long. Got a piece of hardware cloth here. We're going to put 2 pins right at the base of the tail. We can pleat the tail slightly underneath the hardware cloth and pin it like so. I completely forgot on that last one. I really did. It's funny whenever you're live and you're trying to rush through. There's that. Nice coon there. I'm going to go ahead and fix this. It's different live, guys. I'm telling you, it's different, especially whenever I feel like I've been going too long. So pin those. It's better to use pins than staples on this, I feel like, just because it's hard to get that staple to set through that hardware cloth. There we are. Pleat that just slightly. We'll move on to our third one here. Let's see here. Hope this is all in frame for you guys. We'll slow down a little bit on these last 2. I want to get to a Q&A here before we call it a night, but I know I've been running long. We've been talking too much. All right, there's a nice coon. That's going to be, right at that 2X. We're out of staples, of course. Load ourselves up with some new staples. Like I said, I always like to start from the inside and work my way out. This is the important part. This is where they're measuring from. We're going to do the same thing every time. Like I said, there's no reason, you can see right there, there's no reason to bring that foot down super low, because that's where you're going to be graded to. So the tighter you pull that hide, the tighter you pull that hide is actually worse, because it actually thins out that fur, So there's something to be said about kind of leaving it where it's at. That's why they call it actually boarding fur rather than stretching the fur, right? Obviously you want to get the best bang for your buck, but you don't want to overstretch it where it actually goes down a grade. You can see I've got some little flabbies here from where I made the money cut on that one. Just cut those off. It's no big deal. I like to have that nice straight line. That way it dries nice. It'll dry nice and taut. You guys are having problems seeing this, I know, but you've seen this before. Bottom lip, front arms, and belly board. There you go. Nice 2X coon. And we'll do the one more. This is that big 3X. 3 or 4, whatever he comes out to be. He's a big one. He's horrible color and he's got a bunch of scars on him, but he's a big coon. All right. He's going to be a big 3X. He's not going to make 4. So obviously you can see this one here is very apparent where I cut up the feet. There's just no need for that. There's all the way up the heel. We'll just trim that off. There's the fun parts. Trim that off. Once again, the front arms. Upper lip. Trying to rush here a little bit, guys. Trying to get to where we can do the Q&A here section. I know you guys have seen me do this now 3 times, so it's probably getting pretty boring. I also haven't looked at the chat in a good minute, so I may have missed quite a bit. But we're going to go ahead and finish this up anyway. There we go. That's a dirty coon, man. He is rusty colored as all get out. Trim those little flabbies off. Now this coon here has got a lot of scar on him, so I'm just going to go ahead and scrape that with that back side of that knife. There we go. Alright. Let me get them out of the way, y'all, real quick. I'm just going to hang them up real close here. And then we'll get set up to where we can do the final Q&A. This was fun. I really enjoyed this, guys. I really enjoyed this. It went definitely longer than I thought, and I apologize. I appreciate everybody that stayed with me. Here's our pins for the washing machine. They'll just go into these tubs here after I store them in the refrigerator. There we go. All right. Awesome. That's that, y'all. I know, it probably went long, hasn't it? I apologize. Yep, it has. What should take me 45 minutes is, we've been going an hour and a half now, huh? All right. Let's see. All right. Let me get in the chair here. And we'll throw a log on the fire here. Oh. And I had to run some errands tonight, y'all, and I did not eat supper. I am hungry. Hungry. Wipe the old hands down. I got some deer loin in the refrigerator. It's been marinating. May have to throw some of that on the old wood stove here while we're finishing up tonight. I am hungry. All right, y'all. So I hope that I didn't run too awful long for you guys. See if we can't crank that stove up. Get us a little dinner going on. All right. Let's see here. So I hope y'all enjoyed. Hope y'all enjoyed that. That was a fun little session there. Like I said, I'm not gonna make a big habit out of doing these lives, but yeah, I really enjoy interacting with you guys like this. This is definitely fun. Let me go through here because that was a quick little run without looking at the comments, obviously. There's our coons all boarded up and ready to go. Make sure I didn't miss any super chats. If I missed one, guys, I'm sorry. We got Brandon's hunting and trapping. Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. And I don't see any other ones. So, yeah. I appreciate it, guys. I appreciate all the super chats. So, anyway, that is that, y'all. Let's see. Why do I use the electric stapler over a manual one? Yeah, simply just, efficiency and not hard on my hands. It's just that I use, the electric stapler doesn't quite have the power that the manual one does. So like whenever I start beavers, because I staple all my beavers on boards too, I'll actually pin them with the manual one. It seems like it drives a little harder, especially in I use plywood boards. Obviously those are basswood boards for my coons, so it's a lot harder material, right? But yeah, I just I've got them. I've got both of them there. It's just so quick with the electric stapler, especially, like I said, this was just 4 coons. If you've got, a decent number of them setting up there, it's nice just to run through them. And obviously, it's totally different doing this whole thing live, But yeah, I just prefer to use both. You'll find that the electric stapler does have just a little bit more power, but you can pick all that stuff up. You can get those in a kit, electric and manual. So anyway, guys, that was it. That was the first shed. It's 10 after 9 here, so we'll probably go about 20 more minutes, I'd say, or so. We'll call her at about 9:30. Have a nice little chat with you guys. So obviously, I'm sure I've missed a ton of questions tonight. This was a little different format than the other night. So by all means, for those of you that's still here, I've got the questions pulled up here on my tablet. So if you have anything that you would like to ask, if you throw the @Coon Creek Outdoors on it, it highlights for me, and it's a lot easier for me to find them in the chat. But yeah, I really do. What do I use to pull the staples? All right. So I'll have to wash my hands off again before I put my supper on the stove. But yeah, these are just little bitty square nose pliers, right? And they fit just absolutely perfect inside of those T50 staples. And you can rip those staples out no problem with these little bitty pliers. I've had them for years. Just small, cheap, whatever, cheap brand Harbor Freight or whatever staples, or square nose pliers. Needle nose work too, but that's just what I use. But yeah, I've tried the rake thing. I'm not a big fan of it. I can rip through, like you see on the coon there, I've only got 6 staples on one side, and I've got 4 staples on the other, so you can just rip right through them. I've got a video on somewhere out there deboarding a beaver in like 3 minutes by using those pliers. And there's obviously a lot more staples on a beaver, so that's what I use. It works pretty well for me. Let me see here. I see a lot of highlighted red here. You check it out here. Have I ever eaten muskrat? Yes, I talked about that in the last live. They are number 2 underneath beaver as far as the favorite animal that I would eat over what I trap. Do I ever sew up bite marks in beaver? Yes, I sew up the arms and the leg holes in beaver. I've got a video on that. If you check out the boarding the beaver, you'll see how I sew up the holes. I sew everything up. What do I do with the carcasses? A lot of different things. Obviously, I got a big compost pile out there. There's a lot that goes to dog food. Dog doesn't. I don't buy dog food for about 4 months a year. You know, and I eat a lot. I mean, I don't obviously eat everything that I catch, but yeah, I mean, it all goes. There's always a route for it. Do I use wax dirt? Yes, I use wax dirt. I've got videos. I'll say this again here while I've got you guys here. So a lot of you guys come in here new, obviously, or haven't, maybe this is your first year trapping. I've been doing this now since 2012 on YouTube. I have over 200 videos on YouTube, and I have titled the vast majority of them pretty specifically to what the video is about, right? So if you go back and you look at my previous videos, I mean, there's 8 years of videos there, basically 7.5, 8 years of videos there. If you look back, you're probably going to find something that you've got a question about there. I've got, I think, 3 or 4 videos on making wax dirt. I use wax dirt all year long. So yeah, definitely go back and look at the videos that I've got. I'm starting to kind of remake them just because I get so many new people every year. But for those of you that are new, definitely go back and look at a lot of my previous videos. They're older videos, obviously, but they're still just as relevant. But yeah, I do use wax dirt. We got this other question here. How long do you let your hides dry for? Okay, so those critters right there are just boarded. And now obviously I'm gonna come out here tomorrow and I'm gonna go ahead and flush those coons that I've washed. So I'm gonna have a fire in here. It's gonna maintain, fairly warm temperature in here. It's gonna take 4 or 5 days with how I keep this fur shed warm to get those to dry. That's not gonna be your case. The best way to test that is the nose. The nose on any critter is going to be the last thing to dry. So after a set amount of time, you can check it every day. You can check it every other day, whatever. But whenever that nose is hard and dry, you can almost be guaranteed that the rest of the hide is dry to a state that it can come off the board or the wire or the stretcher, whatever. Check the nose. The nose is going to be the last thing to dry. Okay, let me see here. I'm missing on. What age did I start trapping? I don't know. I mean, I had sets out whenever I was really, really young. I got really serious into it whenever I got my license, and I was really able to start moving around. That's really what got. I mean, once I had my license, but I've been trapping probably, I don't know, 11, 12, 13, whatever, something like that. Hoist size. So that is I think it's a 450. It's like a Harbor Freight. It's a really cheap hoist. It's a 450 with the separate pulley for the winch. That's a 120, obviously. That's not a 12 volt. At my old fur shed, I had a 12 volt. Whenever I moved here, I upgraded. That's a pretty cheap winch in all reality. I think it's a 440 if you use the pulley. It doubles it, obviously. 220 is fine. That's how I've got it set up, just on a single cable. It won't lift the deer sometimes. I have to pull deer, use the pulley whenever I do deer in here. But yeah, pretty cheap winch. You can get it for, I think, I want to say $150 roundabout. Don't quote me on that. But yeah, gonna make hats and garments this year. I would like to, guys. That is one hell of an undertaking, trying to put together the video of making a hat or something. I've tried it in the past, and it ended up being like 7 parts, and I knew nobody would watch it. So I'm gonna try to do it. I think I can maybe condense it down my new editing program I've got now. I've changed to Final Cut this year. It allows me to do a little bit more, so I think I can maybe condense it down to a more of a manageable or viewable video. I'm gonna try to, because I know right now a lot of people, um, that's what they're trapping for, basically, for their own good. They're making blankets and pillows and things like that because fur is not good right now. So I will try to get out some videos. Traditionally, I do that as the season kind of winds down. This is trapping time, right? This is where you get your fur, and then as kind of that February, March, that lull, before you get into spring, that's where I start doing all that stuff. So, okay, let's see. Have you ever tried road trapping? I would love to try road trapping, but it is illegal here in Illinois. We cannot trap right away. Does not matter where you're at. You cannot road trap here. Um, you cannot trap on right away even. So you've got to be a minimum of, 25, 30 foot. Traditionally, right away is set right at the power pole line. That's normally where they set power poles, is right at right away. Um, yeah, we can't do it here. I would love to do it. I know my numbers. I mean, I could put up some hellacious numbers if I could trap right away. Everything here is private ground, so I've got to get permission. I've got to have accessibility to it. It's a whole nother deal. Um, but yeah, I would love to do that. I would love to be able to road trap, but we just can't do it here. I would also like to use cable restraints and snares, but we can't do that either. So got a video. I got a video coming. I got to get it all edited on the deer hide. I obviously you guys saw the deer. I'm gonna do. I gotta get it all edited out. But yeah, do I ever European mount any critters? If so, what is the process? Yes, I've got a ton of European mounts. I do it all the time. Actually, if you go check out, I don't think I have a video of that actually. I'll have to do that. Well, I'll have to do a video. My buddy Mike Mulletman, he's got several videos on European mount. I do it pretty much the same way. They're pretty much just a standard way to do it. So if you go look back through his channel, he's got some pretty good videos on that. You're basically just pressure washing out everything and then boiling it in peroxide. Pretty simple, straightforward. Pretty much how I do everything now because it's just an easier way to display stuff, right? Let's see here. Looking through the comments. How do you stir furs after they're dried? So I've got, I don't have them here. They're actually over there in the other shed. I won't go around and get them. But I got just regular fur hangers. I've made them. I've bent them out of 10-foot pieces of cold roll, 1/4 inch. It's the same thing that you guys would buy if you would buy the fur hangers. They just kind of look very similar to like a big glorified clothes hanger. That's how I store them. I store them here in the fur shed in the back. They last because I always sell my stuff, or use it, before you get to the summer months. You don't want to store this stuff during the summer months. Obviously, the humidity and the bugs will get to it if it's not tanned. So, yep, that's how I store all my stuff. Do I have a problem with humidity? I don't have a problem with humidity, guys. And the simple fact is, I've got that wood stove going every single day. That's my, we live in I live in humidity central basically, right? And but by having that stove ripping, every single night, it keeps this shed just as dry as could be. So there's enough moisture leaching out all that stuff. I don't have to worry about getting shocked. Inside, like I burn firewood 100% for my heat. I actually have to have a tea kettle, a cast iron tea kettle on my wood stove because if not, I'll build up enough static in the house. It'll get so dry, I'll shock myself. But yeah, I don't have a problem out here. Keep that wood stove ripping. It just it keeps everything dry enough, and I can rip through. Obviously, this year I'm not trapping near as hard as I have in past. I mean, I am full on hobby trapper this year. But yeah, I mean, I can be ripping through. I think I've got 45 or 50 coon boards, and whenever I'm going hard, I can just keep that rotation going in 4 to 5 days. Obviously I average like 10 to 12, 15 coon average whenever I'm going hard. But yeah, that rotation 4 to 5 days with this stove going, I can just keep that rotation going. It's worked for me for years, right? So, obviously this doesn't look like that big of a first shed, and it's not. But I've got it set up where I can just obviously I've got the loft here, as you guys can see, so the ceiling's lower, the wood stove's right there, so it's hotter right here than it is actually where I'm sitting right here. Because the hot air rises actually. Yeah, I don't have a problem. In my old shed, I actually had a fan. I had a ceiling fan mounted above that rack where I blew air down, and I've never had to use that in this shed simply just because I've got it set up where I've got hot air every night essentially. So, yep. Let me see here, make sure. Well, we're getting close to time, y'all. Wipe my hands off. I'm hungry, y'all. Got that stove ripping again. Oh, let's see here. So I've got some. Oh, this is gonna be good. I made some marinade the other night. This is that deer loin, and I got it all marinated here. This has kind of been my first shed snack for the last couple of nights. I got soy sauce, I got Worcestershire sauce, garlic, salt and pepper, a little bit of seasoning here. Oh yeah. Man, this is some good stuff. I'm gonna get her going here on the old wood stove while we're talking and get her cooking all good and slow. Man, I'll tell you, this is about the best way I've found to do it. This stuff's been marinating. I think I did it Sunday night. I had it last night out here. Nice little snack here. It's always nice to get the meat sweats going right before you go to bed, am I right? Load up that skillet. Yep, that's some pretty good stuff. Worcestershire, soy sauce, garlic, well, onion powder, salt, and pepper, I think is what I've got in here. Oh, that's going to be good. That's going to be good here in about 10 minutes. Yep, that's going to be real good. Okay, let's catch up on some questions here, huh? Yep, so I hope you guys enjoyed tonight. This, like I said, this was just a typical night in the first shed. Okay, we've got. Have I seen the Duke version of the 550? Yes, I've seen it. I don't own one. If a gentleman would send me some, I would be more than happy to look at them. But I've got a bunch of traps, and I'm not a guy to buy them because that's the next question down here. Do I collect traps? No, I really don't. I've got a large variety of fleshing knives here, but I don't collect traps really. Never have. Just not something I'm into. You guys have seen every trap that I have. I pretty much set in the ground. I'm not one to just have a bunch to try. Basically, I mean, I guess that would be the. I know what I like, and that's what I've just kind of gone with. So. Where did I get the stove? That's just a cheap little, what's the name of that? Voltson Gang. That's a cheap stove. That's like a $600 stove. And you can see the little end there. If you can see it bent down, I got a discount on it because it fell off a pallet. It works fine for out here. It's just a steel welded stove. It's nothing like the good Yodel that I use in my house. Actually, I wouldn't have that stove in my house. That stove is not near controllable enough to have in a home, in my opinion. I have a very, very nice Yodel stove in my house that I heat. I don't have a furnace in my house. I heat 100% with wood. It cost a good penny. It's paid for itself. I think last year was where I figured out it rolled over and it completely paid for itself. Yodel stoves are the best, in my opinion. Or, well, I shouldn't say that. They're not the best, but Yodel stoves are a very good stove, in my opinion. It's what I use in my house to heat my entire house. That's just a cheap stove. It's called the Durango, if you really want to know. So, Will I make a video? Yes, I've answered that a couple times now. I'll make a video. I've got a video made of doing the deer hide. I just got to get it all edited. Lot to editing, guys. Lot to editing. That question keeps coming up. But yeah, yep, I got videos. You guys will see it as soon as I get it edited. Yeah, $600 is cheap. Yeah, it's a cheap stove. Let me tell you. I can tell you right now that yodel that I've got in my house, by the time I bought all the stove and the just everything all in general, I had to buy a little bit of pipe and stuff because I got a clay line masonry flue in my house. But yeah, that was about $4,500 is what it came to. About $4,300 for that stove. I think the stove itself was about 38, but it is a cast iron. I mean, that stove weighs 600 pounds and it's a beast. But it's completely paid for itself. Completely paid for itself. I have no power bill, or no, I have no heating bill. I haven't in 5 years. So yeah, it keeps my power bill down to $1 a day. I average about a $31 or $32 power bill a month during the winter, and I have no heating bill. So yeah, I really enjoy the wood stove. I burn a lot of wood, obviously. But yeah, we have another super chat here I want to catch up on. Gained a few subscribers and learned a lot. Learned something tonight. Great live stream. Appreciate it. Illegal outdoorsman. I really appreciate it, bud. Let me see here. I'm gonna try to catch up on some comments here. Have I ever stapled my finger? No, I haven't. I've never stapled my finger. I would really have to try hard to staple my finger the way I have it. I cut my finger with a bandsaw. You guys saw that. That was interesting. Stitched myself up. It's fine now, by the way, for those of you who know. Those of you who watched that video, it's perfect. Yep. That was interesting. Giving myself five stitches. What brand of Footholds do I use? So I've got a lot of different brands. I've got Dukes, I've got Bridgers, I've got MBs. I own more Dukes than anything, simply because whenever I started out trapping, they were the cheapest trap, and I bought them because they still work perfect. I still use them today. The videos you guys are going to see coming up are pretty much set with all Duke traps. I've modified them a little bit, but yeah, I don't have I'm not loyal to one brand. Let me say that I'm not loyal to one brand of trap. I've tried several over the years. The ones that work, I've bought more. The ones that don't work, I haven't bought any more. But it's pretty hard to screw up a foothold. I mean, there's different ways that they modify them and everything else, but it's pretty dang hard to screw up a foothold, right? I'm not brand specific. I will say that I'm not brand specific. So I need merch. I've got merch. I've got to get it worked on. I gotta get working on the merch for you guys. You guys keep asking for it, and I gotta get down and I gotta get time for you guys. I gotta make it. I'm hopefully gonna have it. I don't want to say the end of the week, but yeah, I gotta get on that, guys. You guys were awesome the last time I had merch, but it's just a lot of work on my end, or at least for me it is, not being all tech savvy and whatnot. So, yep. Hopefully before Christmas you guys will have some merch. I will definitely let you guys know whenever I have that. Any advice for learning to trap? New to it all, not sure where to start. Well, obviously, for all the new guys out there, obviously take the trapper's education course. That's the big one. A lot of states require it. I know Illinois now requires it to get a license. You will learn plenty in the education course. And I honestly, and I don't want to brag on myself, but I've had a lot of people contact me says they use my videos in their trappers education courses, right? So you can also look through my videos and get a general idea. But definitely, if it's not required in your state and you're new to this, definitely take a look. Um, Go through that trappers education course. Normally, it's only a couple of days anyway. You will learn the basics. You will learn, you know, you'll learn what you need to know. I mean, because there is a right and a wrong way to do this stuff, and hopefully you'll go about it in a way that you'll be able to promote the sport in a good manner. I feel like a lot of states that don't require it now don't require a trapper's education course, especially in times of high fur prices. You get a lot of guys coming out of the woodwork, and they're just so focused on that money that is where trapping gets a bad name. And I've always on this channel at least tried to promote trapping in a good way. I mean, no creature dies nicely in nature, right? I mean, that just doesn't happen. So I've always tried to promote trapping in a good manner. Definitely, like I said, if you're new to it, I would highly recommend looking up your state's trapper education course. Most states also have a trappers association, so you can contact them. A lot of guys anymore are out there. They're able to let you kind of come along, or kind of apprentice, I guess would be the proper term for it. But yeah, there's definitely ways to get about it, to go about it, more so than just YouTube and trapping videos. And obviously, I'm a YouTube trapper, and I will be the first to tell you there are better ways to go about it than just YouTube trapping. Um, Yep. Let's see. It looks warm and toasty. It is warm in here, guys. It is a lot warmer in here than I would rather have it. It's like 65 degrees in here. It's warm. I normally try, like I said, I normally try to keep it about 50 degrees, just because you're working, you got long sleeves on, you got clothes on. Obviously, with the flesh and you're working. I don't like to sweat. I got it pretty warm tonight for you guys. I struggled the other night. I didn't quite have the fire going in time, but we are plenty warm in here. We are plenty warm in here. Let's see. Let's look through the comments here. Look through the comments and see if I've the thoughts on Duke number 4 for coyotes. Yeah, I like them. I've used them for years. I'd say 3/4 of all the traps that I have are Duke number 4s. I use a lot of Bridger number 3 offsets, the dogless ones. I really like those. If I hadn't bought all the Duke number 4s, I probably would have bought into the Bridger number 3 offsets. I really like that trap. That's a great trap. That being said, probably my all-time favorite trap for no other reason than they bed so easy is the Duke number 3. You're losing about a ½ inch of jaw spread on them, but those things bed so nice. The Duke number 3s, and they will hold anything. For the step down dirt hole set, there is no trap better in my opinion. That being said, I don't own any MBs or anything. I mean, I'm pretty basic whenever it comes to traps, guys. Like I said, I don't just go out and buy a bunch of them that I'm not gonna set. What I own is what I put in the ground. I don't have a big collection hanging on the wall or anything else. So, yeah. But yeah, definitely check out those. I highly recommend them. Let's see here. Thanks for sharing your knowledge. I appreciate it. How well done do you like your deer loins? I like them pretty rare. I like them pretty rare. I don't like venison. I don't like it well done. The stove's not very hot right now, uh, but if it was warm, they'd already be done. But I'm definitely ready to flip. But yeah, I like venison. Actually, all wild meat. if you're eating your wild meat where it's done, um, if you're eating your wild meat where it's done, you're pretty much ruining the flavor of it, in my opinion. I really that medium rare to medium, depending on your taste. Those are going to take about another 5-10 minutes, and I'm going to be eating really good here in a second. But yep. How long does it take you to flush a pelt? Depends on the pelt. Or how long does it take to? Let me see. How long does it take for a fleshed pelt to go bad? I'm not sure I understand that question. Once you get that into that state right there where it's dry, as long as you keep it out of the humidity and per se bugs and whatnot, it can last several years. Whenever you send them up to auction, that's where they keep them. So let's see. Let's make sure I'm not missing anything here. Where does your washing machine exhaust to? I'm hoping by exhaust you mean drain, and it simply just goes out the back of the fur shed. So with my washing machine set up in this particular sense, I have got a 30-gallon tank up above that I fill up. I use about 5 gallons per washing, so that gets me through a week basically. Every weekend I fill it up, and then I drain it down. That's an old mechanical washing machine, so I don't have to have basically a water level for it to kick on, and it gets me through. Like I said, guys, I'm just rinsing this stuff off. I could easily have a barrel outside with water and just give them a good rinsing, and then kind of wring them out. But the problem is here it gets too cold and that barrel will freeze. So this is just an easier way to do it. All I'm doing is just getting the heavy dirt off of them, the heavy mud, and just running it through a rinse cycle. No soap. I always get that question. I never use soap. It's just water. And just letting them rinse through the rinse cycle, and then I hang them up. And it just drains right outside. Like I said, 30 gallons over the course of a week. I've never had an issue with any draining or water buildup or anything. So anyway, that's the washing machine. I still firmly believe, I get questions all the time, because all my videos say I'm going to throw them in the washing machine. I still firmly believe. I mean, no, I'm not in Saskatchewan or Montana or all them great places where you got the perfect coyotes, right? I deal with super red coyotes and I deal with subpar coons, right? Anything I can do to better them is to my advantage. As far as tumbling them, which is probably going to be the next question that comes up, is tumbling them. I just never messed with it. This is what I've done for years, and it works for me. I don't own a tumbler. I don't see myself getting a tumbler in the future. This is just that simple rinse cycle, hang them up to dry, and go about it. I feel like you're probably getting about the same effect versus a tumbler. Maybe not. I don't know. But yeah, this is just what works for me. Like I said, it's by no means the best way, but it's the way that I do it. So let's see here. Make sure I have not missed any questions here, guys. But we're really doing it tonight, y'all. I appreciate everybody that's been in here. We've been going for damn over 2 hours, right? This has been fun. I guess if y'all would like to hit that thumbs up button, I appreciate it. I really would. Really appreciate it if you hit that thumbs up. Let me back up here and make sure I'm not missing any comments here. What is the best setup for a fur shed or best layout? That's personal preference, man. I've got videos. I'll say it again. I've got 200 plus videos on this channel. Go back and look at them. You're probably going to find something that you've got a question about. This is I've got videos on setting up this fur shed for me. This was my ideal fur shed. It works for me. I can push through you know, 300-400 coon through here if I want to in a season, or I can be hobby trapper like I am now, along with other critters. But yeah, this is the ideal layout for me. You can see it's pretty compact, but it gets the job done. Like I said, go back and look at my videos. Where do you place dog first in a hilly location? Wherever there's sign. I've said it before, and I say it again, guys. Set on sign. Hilly location. More than likely, you're going to be looking at the draws, so the low areas, and then you're going to be looking at the very high areas, the ridges. There's probably not going to be a lot going on in between. I say that with a grain of salt. There may be. Find them trails. Find them small game trails, and you will be successful. I'm going to take a quick moment, guys. I got to step out and grab another cold drink, and I'll be right back. I said we were going to go till 9:30, but that obviously passed. We're probably going to go about another 15 minutes, guys. I'll be right back. All right, we are back. We are back. Let's see what I missed. Let's see what I missed while I'm gone. We're going to give her about another 15 minutes, guys. I don't want to make this too awful long. And I got to get up at 5 o'clock to go to work tomorrow. So, let's see. Let's check out the old... $100 he's taking a piss. You're right. I didn't want to say it, but I've had a few cold drinks tonight, and well, talking to you guys is time for a break. Y'all called it. Yep. Oh, that's fun. It's been a good time hanging out with you guys. I appreciate it. I appreciate everybody who's been in here tonight. It's probably getting late for a lot of you guys, but yeah. This has been fun, guys. Like I said, I'm not going to make this, I'm not going to make a habit of making every video like this, but I really do enjoy hanging out with you guys like this. And hopefully there was some knowledge. Obviously, this was just a fun hangout, you know, but hopefully there was some knowledge gained by some of this. Like I said, this is just typical night here. Obviously, it usually doesn't take me this long to do all this stuff. You know, I can rip through it pretty quick, but yeah. This is just and I've said it before and I'll say it again, but I really do enjoy spending time in the fur shed about just as much as I do out on the line. I like working with the fur. I like working with the critters. It's just always been kind of a passion of mine. You know, it's fun to oh, that stuff's ready. It's fun to kind of see this stuff go for full circle. And if you're the guy that just goes out and traps and sells green, you know, that's fine. I'm not putting that against you. But if you've never taken it to the full level, you know, that is finishing your fur out, it is very rewarding. It's very rewarding to just, you know, see it come full circle, I guess, would be the proper term. You know, I really enjoy it. It's nice to see. You can really put your touch on it. You know, there's something to be said about handling fur properly and kind of half-assing it, and then there's something to be said, you know, about doing it right. You know, and it's just, I don't know. It's very rewarding. I've always always really enjoyed it. But man, that's what it's like right there. Man, that's good. That's so good. I've been marinating since Sunday night, and you just cannot beat that. It just falls apart in your mouth. It's a damn good snack, I'll tell you. About the best way I've seen it. I've done loin, I think. Pretty dang good, guys. I would highly recommend it. Where can I get it? 10-inch PVC pipe. So I get that question a lot. Obviously, if you've ever tried to price that stuff, it is stupid expensive. I might eat in front of y'all. I don't even care anymore. I'm hungry. Hope y'all don't mind. I'm not trying to be rude, but this is dang good. So as far as finding PVC pipe for a flushing beam, right? It's stupid expensive. I mean, it's upwards of like $30, $40 a foot. Best way is to go to your local water municipality, right? You don't need that much. You only need 2.5, 3 feet of it, right? Now, a lot of times, what'll happen is, whenever they're putting in a big water main, they'll need like a bell end just to make up. So you'll end up with just an off-fall at the very end. And a lot of times, if you go talk to people, I mean, there's something to be said about just going and talking to people. You can buy it off of them a lot cheaper. You can pick it up. Sometimes they got a scrap pile. If you see, main going in, stop and ask them guys. A lot of times they're not the ones that bought it, so they don't really care. They lose a couple 3 feet. But you can catch them off falls, where they just needed like a 2-foot makeup bell end, and they can probably hook you up, If not, you can definitely buy it, but you're gonna spend some money on it, definitely. But definitely a way to go. Check out all your rural municipalities too. I mean, everybody's 10-inch is kind of a, whenever you're talking a smaller to larger city, that's a pretty good main to run through. So they may have an old scrap pile right there. That's not really a common pipe size. Normally they're putting in 6, 8, or 4, sometimes 3-inch. So that's where I would start looking. Let me check the comments here, make sure we're not missing anything. Well, you guys are missing out. I wish you could smell it right now. It smells awesome in here. All right, check with your local water. That's what I was saying. Check with your local water company. You don't have to buy. You probably won't have to buy it if you look hard enough. I mean, I've been in the trades all my life, and I can tell you right now, there's a lot of that stuff gets thrown in the dumpster. That if you would just come around and look at it or ask for it, we'd give it to you. I've seen it for years and years and years. Yeah, see this dude here, everyday American. He works for a water municipality. See, I mean, it's pretty easy to come by if you just put a little bit of legwork into it. And obviously now I use the PVC flushing beam. I've had the video up and it's got a bunch of views and things like that. You don't need the PVC beam. I highly recommend it. But yeah, it's just something that all you got to do is just go out and. It's the same way that I make my my crappie beds every year. I go out and I look for guys born in interduct, right? And I find all their off-falls, and it costs me nothing. I get a bunch of 1 1/4 inch interduct for nothing. Just gotta put the legwork into it. I really wish you guys could smell this. This is awesome. Yep, and I will do a video. because this dude said probably 10 flesh and bees were the 8-inch, right? Now, say you guys can't get a hold of 10, 12, 14-inch, whatever. All you got to do is heat that stuff up. You cut your beam out, you heat it up, and you flatten it out. That's all you got to do. It will form, you know, it's PVC. And I'm going to do a video on it just to kind of show you guys how you can make it out of 6-inch. Because 6-inch is pretty dang common. 6-inch is a lot more common than 10, 12, or 14-inch main. And even if you had to buy it, 6-inch is pretty common. But I will do a video on it. But all you got to do is heat that stuff up. You know, you heat it up and you flatten it out, and you've got whatever form you want to whatever knife you want. You can form it to whatever. The biggest advantage to having, once you get over 8-inch pipe, is the thickness. 6-inch, you know, is fairly thin compared to your 10, 12, 14. But it all works great. It all works great. I've got all these videos coming up, guys. Like I said, it's just dadgum, it's tough to be doing all this stuff, filming it and editing, you know. But definitely coming. Definitely coming. We've got a super chat here I want to catch up on. We've got Trapping with Jinx. I really appreciate the super chat, man. I really appreciate it. I should have put more of this on that pan, because that is awesome. Oh. Yeah, I wish y'all could smell this, because, whoo. Pretty dang good. Pretty dang good. I'm eating with my hands like a caveman, but I don't even care anymore. I've drank a Bud Light lemonade in front of you guys, so what more do I have to hide, right? I got nothing. Let me catch up on the comments, guys. We're gonna go about 4 more minutes, and then we're gonna get off of here. Like I said, I gotta do some stuff here before I go inside and call her a night, and I'm sure you guys do too. But man, I really appreciate everybody coming out here tonight. This was awesome. This was fun. We're definitely going to do it again. Not going to make a habit out of it, but I really do enjoy these lives. I feel like I really get to interact with you guys, and you kind of answer some of the questions that, I don't know, some of the questions that are a little off. That's very hard for me to answer in the comments, right? Super hard to answer all the comments this time of year, right? I try to answer some of them, but man, I just get so flooded with them. So this is really cool. Have I tried Dale's marinade? I have not. I have not tried Dale's marinade. This is my own concoction, and well, it's pretty hard to go off of, because I mean, that's just perfect. That's perfect. How did I become a great welder? Well, I wouldn't say I'm a great welder. But like anything, I practiced. I just did it. There's something to be said about just going out and doing it. I've said it in the last video, and I'll say it again. You know, the best way to learn is to screw up. You know, people learn from your mistakes. You learn from your mistakes, right? It's not that simple anymore, because nobody makes a mistake anymore. You don't know how to do something, you Google it, and then you find out how to do it. So you never have that, oh, I screwed up and I made the mistake. That's today's world. You know, I'm a millennial, whatever, but I was kind of right on the edge of that, you know, where, you know, as I was growing up, you still made mistakes, but I was right on the cusp of where, you know, you didn't know how to do something, you Googled it. I mean, I do it all the time. You don't know how to do something, you want to look it up, you Google it. There's something to be said about just screwing up and not making it right. And then you figure it out. And we've lost that. We've lost that as a society. I still firmly believe that. We've lost that learning by mistake. So as far as like the welding goes, I just did it. You know, a lot of that stuff, you just do it. So anyway, guys, we're gonna cut her loose here just a little bit. If you guys got any questions, send them in now. If not, I'm gonna finish this last awesome piece of deer loin, eating like a caveman in front of you guys, and we're gonna call her a night. And I really do appreciate everybody coming out. This was awesome. The turnout tonight was great. I really apologize for the whole losing service debacle. Obviously, that's a common thing. We screwed up on Monday too, but yep, just something you're gonna have to deal with here. I do apologize. I don't know what else to say. I really do appreciate the community. We've got an awesome community here, guys, and it grows every single year. It grows every single year. I've got guys that's been with me for like 6 or 7 years. You know, it's been commenting on my videos, and I mean, it's just awesome. We've got an awesome community here, and I love to see people. I mean, you know, I put up my videos, and obviously I can't get all the comments. I just can't answer them all. It's not possible. And I love seeing other people, you know, helping other people out, and just it's a really good tight knit community. I mean, there's been like Jason for example. You know, Jason's been doing this for as long as I have. Jason Roberts, you know, and I mean, it's awesome to see this community just keep growing and growing every year, bringing new guys in. So anyway, guys, wow, I just saw that. We're pushing 1,000 likes, guys. Now, I am one to push the likes because that's one way you guys can help me that's the one way you guys can help me for free in these videos. We are at 963 likes is what I'm seeing here right now. Before we go off here, can we hit 1,000? That would be awesome. I very rarely hit 1,000 likes on any video that I ever put. So if you guys would do me a favor, and it's free. It's super free. Just hit that thumbs up. Yeah, I just noticed that. That's awesome. No, I appreciate it, guys. 1,000 likes. Yeah, that would be awesome. Anyway, it's about time for me to go to bed, guys. And I really do appreciate you guys coming along with me tonight. I hope you guys enjoyed it. It was fun. We're going to do it again. Definitely going to do it again. I won't make a habit of it. I've got several videos in the process, and they're in the works. So you guys will see some videos coming up here shortly. But I definitely want to do these lives again. I really enjoy it. There we go, guys. I just saw it. We hit 1,000 likes. I want to thank each and every one of you guys for coming out tonight. I don't know. We got an awesome community, guys. With that, guys, I'm going to sign off here tonight. I really appreciate it. I'll toast to each and every one of you. Even take a drink. We'll see you guys on the next live. I appreciate it.